This is for about 20 tacos. So if you guys make it, it's 10 tacos each, right? Or 15 and 5, right? And you need half a pound of all-purpose flour, 1 egg, half a cup of beer. Use like a light color beer, because if you use like a stout or a porter, you're going to darken your batter and you won't know when it's ready when it's deep frying. So you know something not worth drinking, like a gringo beer, you know, like a Corona or Dos Equis, some gringo beer. And then you need 2/3 of a cup of sparkling water, 1 teaspoon of love, otherwise known as salt, right? So 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That's important, guys. If you use baking soda, your bottle will break when you're deep frying. So use baking powder, okay, 1 teaspoon. And then these are 2 key ingredients: 1 teaspoon of oregano and 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard. Regular, you know, French is the one you put on hot dogs. So you whisk all this together. You should get like a thick pancake batter. You know it's the perfect consistency when you whisk it and then you lift up the whisker and it drips slowly like 3-4 seconds and then stops. That is where you have to dip your strips of fish. Let's talk about the fish. I told you that we use mako, dogfish, or angel shark, but there is no rule. You can use whatever you want or whatever you have available. If you have cod, tuna fish, mackerel, croaker, grouper, as long as it's fresh. So the fresher, the better. And if you have like a little one who doesn't like fish, you can use maybe thin strips of chicken breast and make chicken tacos in Ensenada style. They're really good. Or you have like a vegetarian friend, use zucchini instead of fish. Good. Or use shrimp, of course. You know, just remove the shell, devein it, dip it in the batter, and it will be fried. When you put it to deep fry, it's going to sink in first, and then it's going to float like a corn dog when it's nice and fried. Medium heat, maybe medium to low, nice and easy. And you have to deep fry it, get this, in pork fat. You can always use canola, soy, corn, whatever, but if you want the authentic flavor, it has to be pork fat. Now, I know you want to eat your tacos already, guys, but one of the most important things to do, most important actually, prepare your toppings in advance. You know, before you start making all that. You're going to dice onions. Remember the onions that, you know, in the restaurant? Use red onions instead of white. You know, just red onions in juliennes and put in and dice some jalapenos and carrots if you want. Put them in a small container and pour boiling water on them. Let them sit there until it cools down. When it's cooled down, then add the same amount of vinegar. Season it with lime, salt, and oregano. Give it a good mix. Let it sit there for at least 3 hours so that they're nice and soft when you put them in a taco. You need pico de gallo. You know pico de gallo, right? Mm-hmm. And finely diced white cabbage. When it comes to vegetables, that's what's supposed to be in a taco. Make it look like a taco, guys. Put everything on it, just like she did when we went at the restaurant, you know. And you need to make at least 1 green and 1 red salsa. The spicier, the better. And after that, you need also dressings like the chipotle. It doesn't have to be chipotle only. You can do other dressings like cilantro or serrano, garlic, rosemary. Use your imagination, guys. The more dressings you have, the better your tacos will taste. This is how you do it. Fresh, soft corn tortilla. No Taco Bell hard shell or any of that. No flour tortilla. That's not a taco. That's a burrito. There's nothing wrong with a fish burrito, but you want a taco, it has to be corn tortilla, your fish stick, all your vegetables, salsas, dressings, mayo. Yeah, mayo. Not sour cream, mayo. Lime, a little bit of salt. Now you know how to make fish tacos, guys. Happy tacoing.